Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through Sunday. Let's get into our study group for warriors, for my hardcore heads. Basically, I just go through my notes, give you guys something extra to think about for your Sunday. A lot of people are just going to sleep in and be lazy today. Some of us have been up early. We're programming. If you want mentoring or coaching, if you want to get to a better place in your life, level up, fix some broken spots, go check me out on my website, skyazrael.com, or you can go send me a friend's request on Facebook and I'll put you on my schedule. Let's just get into it. I do have some new subscribers. Welcome. What do you guys think about simulation theory? I've talked about this before. I'm not going to go into it. If you don't know what simulation theory is, and this is the first time you've ever heard of it, go check it out. Go look it up. There's lots of videos about it. I've been studying this stuff for the good part of 20 years, easily, maybe more. Well, Elon Musk just successfully implanted a guy with a chip with his company Neuralink, and that's every bit as scary as what you think. Basically, he took a cell phone and stuffed it inside someone's head. This guy has a computer inside his brain. He can access the internet, surf the web just by thinking about it, open up apps just by thinking about it. So that's the future. At some point, these cell phones are going to be inside our brain, and we'll probably be bullied into it like COVID. Everybody will get it and everybody will swear it's so awesome. I'm a cyborg, it's so awesome. I can live longer, or I can feel like I'm so smart, watch videos just by sitting here. And what about virtual reality? You could play video games just by sitting there. You wouldn't be with a headset on or a controller. It would just be going on inside your brain. Now, virtual reality, I've tried that, and it's not as good as it could be, but eventually it will be very good. Eventually you won't be able to tell the difference. Now there's a difference. And you can obviously tell, that's a computer. It's not real. It's not really reality. But eventually, virtual reality will get so good to where it'll be just like this. And there's already lots of talk about how to simulate your senses, your 5 senses. And with a chip inside your brain, that'll be a lot easier to simulate taste, touch, sight. Your pornography. You're going to think that you're actually there doing it, and it won't be. It'll just be simulating all your senses inside your head, and it'll feel like a very real experience. Shit's gonna get real weird. This is already happening. But I was thinking about it what if you did have one of these chips inside your head, and you did log into the virtual reality program, and what if you stayed there too long, or what if you fell asleep in it, or what if you accessed the program while you were asleep, and you didn't know you accessed the program? Like, you woke up in virtual reality, but you didn't know it was virtual reality. And you could go your whole day assuming that the program is really sophisticated. What if it's a really good program? And you could go your whole day just thinking, well, this is reality. So real reality, as opposed to virtual reality, is called base reality. And do we live in base reality? We think we do, unless this is a simulation. Then what's on the outside of the simulation would be the base reality, assuming that that's not also a simulation. You could have these rushing nesting dolls of simulation, where we create a simulation, the simulation creates a simulation, and it just keeps going like that. Well, where are we in that? Are we the real thing, or are we just a simulation? A lot of people think that this is base reality. Neil deGrasse Tyson says it's basically 50-50, the odds that this is base reality. But then here's a question for some of you religious people. You believe in God. God lives in some other dimension or some other realm. Is God's realm reality and this a simulation? God created man in his own image. God created the earth. He makes the wind blow and the grass grow and all that, right? He's in control of everything. Wouldn't God be the computer nerd running the simulation? So isn't his reality the base reality? And if you believe in God, aren't you giving up the idea of living in a base reality? Aren't you saying through your spiritual beliefs that you think you live in a simulation? I don't know, it's just a weird thing to think about. Let's move on. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But it is Sunday, so let's continue with some of this religious thread. If religion taught you judgment and not forgiveness, you did it wrong. You did it wrong. And religion does seem to teach a lot of people judgment. People find religion, they get heavy duty into the Bible or the Quran or the Torah, whatever they're into. And sure, maybe it changes them. Maybe they start living right. But what a lot of these people do is start judging others. It puts this filter on their lens. And they start judging everyone. All they see is sin and people doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You become the corrector. You want to correct everyone. It's like you think you're God all of a sudden. People find religion, they like it, and they start to pretend to be God. They pretend to be holier than thou. A lot of religious people do that. And they're real quick to judge. They're not that quick to forgive. Forgiveness is like, They hate that conversation. I make videos on forgiveness and they get no views, no likes, nothing but trolling. You hate that stuff. I get some of you guys sending me personal messages that are pages long, ranting about why you would never forgive, and forgiveness is for pussies. And you same people think you're going to heaven. You same people think you're so holier than thou. I don't know why it reminds me of the redneck who's actually from New York City. We have a lot of those around here. I'm in Central Florida. This is a redneck Riviera. We got nothing but rebel flags and rednecks around here. Good old boys. And many of them are not actually from here. They moved here from New York City, from Manhattan. And then they put on a set of overalls and bought a beat up old pickup truck and a rebel flag, and they're just playing a role. And they go around bitching and moaning at other people, at tourists, saying, you know, don't California my Florida. You're from Manhattan, you stupid idiot. Let's move on. Let's talk about good. I've been studying good and evil. What is good? Family is good. I mean, it can suck, but family is good. It furthers your lineage, makes your survival easier. If you philosophize on why do we have families? It seems like a stupid question. But why is family a thing? It's a good thing. Justice is good. Even you people screaming, no justice, no peace, you know justice is good. Truth is good. Truth hurts. Truth can sting. I got a little truth yesterday, and it didn't feel so good. But truth is good. By definition, truth is good. Beauty is good. You have to remember that, though. Beauty is good. It's a good thing. It's funny how all these things are being attacked by liberals. Liberals are attacking and trying to destroy family. They're attacking and trying to destroy justice. They're attacking and trying to destroy truth and replace it with lies, replace it with subjectivity. They're attacking beauty. Have you noticed how liberals attack beauty? The postmodernist artist just creates crap. Piss Christ, you ever see that? That's what they think art is. A crucifix in a glass of piss. That was a photograph that a guy took, and it became this famous photograph, and all these liberal postmodernist idiots go to the museum. People in my family, I think my mother went, and they're like, oh, that's so creative, it's so amazing. It's a crucifix in a glass of piss. It's not creative. I just had a friend of mine who is in Montreal, and he's rather liberal, and he sent me a few pictures of some what he said were very cool statues that were just placed around town, and one of them looked like an angel with its chest shot with like a bazooka. Its chest exploded. It was graphically violent and like on purpose. It looked to me blasphemous. And he's like, oh, this is amazing. Why is all liberal art so ugly? Why are they so ugly? Go look at that French Olympic ceremony crap. That was so ugly. The people in it were so ugly. It's funny, because if you want to be a rebel in this day and age, you want to be a rebel. It used to be, being a rebel would be to be this real bad person, this terrible person. Now, if you want to be a rebel, go start a family. Believe in justice and truth and beauty. That'll make you so hated. But those are 4 ways to save society. Family, justice, truth, and beauty. If we follow that, we'll save this country. We'll save Western civilization. Let's move on. You guys know about the Council on Foreign Relations and the Bilderbergers? I was studying this stuff a little bit. They create crisis. There's actually a video that you can find on YouTube of a little montage of Council on Foreign Relations footage of people giving talks at the CFR, and they use the word crisis. It's a crisis montage, and each one of them says the word crisis. This is a crisis. We have a crisis. We have a crisis. They say it like 1,000 times, and somebody clips them all together. They create crisis in order to sell you the solution to it, in order to sell you safety. They create problems to sell you the solution. Your payment isn't money. You're not paying for the solution with money. These people are already rich. You're paying with your freedom. You're giving up your power. This is what societal engineering is about. These CFR and Bilderbergers and those types of groups, they're all a bunch of evil jerks. Let's move on to the next one. Here's a question. How wide is the gap between what you should be and what is? Let me read that again. How wide is the gap between what should be and what is? What should be is your goal in the future. And what is right now, reality. So how wide is the gap between your goal and where you're at? What are you aiming at? And what is your current state? And it's good to have that constant switch to alternate between a broad spectrum outlook and a narrow spectrum outlook, because you have to pinpoint a spot on the horizon in order to travel towards it. That's your goal. But as you travel towards a goal, you have to constantly get the bigger picture, or else you get lost. So, if there's a large gap between what should be your ideal and what is, if there's a huge gap between that, you got a lot of work to do today. Do we got any time? Let's do 1 or 2 more. I got 6 more pages. I probably should have gone through these faster. You guys want to suffer forward. We suffer in life. Life is going to be about suffering. The Buddhists talk about how to alleviate suffering is to accept it, to accept life, to go with the flow. Wu Wei is what the Taoists call it. Now, it's not apathy, and it's not that you're some kind of dead fish because you little trolls, you guys think you're so smart, you always say, well, only a dead fish goes with the flow. You have this idea that you're somehow floating on the water. No, remember Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee says you are the water. You're not floating on the water. Sure, a dead fish floats on the water, a leaf floats on the water. You are the water. But let's talk about suffering forward to success. You want to push through the pain. You're going to feel pain. You want to push through the pain. push through the pain. Don't run from pain. Don't recoil from the pain. Now you want to know your pain threshold. This is important because we all have a threshold of pain. Many times that we start to feel pain, we're not really towards our death yet. We're not towards breaking yet. We just have an aversion to pain. We like comfort. But you don't want to kill yourself. You don't want to commit suicide trying to be successful. You want to study. You want action, movement, and you want rest. Those three things build you stronger. Study, action, and rest. You want to be unshakable with your discipline. People who are suffering forward towards their success are disciplined people. Successful people are disciplined. How disciplined are you? Could I talk you into a sin? How easy would it be? Now on the other side of that hump, because you're going to be climbing a hill, pushing a rock up a hill like Sisyphus, on the other side of that, on the other side of the hill, this is what you're fighting for. On the other side of it is strength. On the other side of it is love. On the other side of it is clarity. Peace of mind, clarity of mind. You know that song, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Who sings that? Jimmy Cliff? On the other side of that hump, as you push that rock up the hill in life, is the person that you want to be. That's what you're working towards. Now once you get that, if you can fight hard enough, you have an obligation to turn around and help another man up. Don't just run off into utopia, patting yourself on the back for making it there, for getting over the wall. We're going to need some strong men who can help some people over and say, hey, I got you, here's a hand. We need to start helping each other. Food for thought.